go live there. And I should get a sound check out of here. Yep, and then it should show up over YouTube. And let's see. I've got short, what do you call it? Low latency, ultra low latency. So it should come through quickly, and here it is. Yeah, and I hear that. So here, we're back. Hello, good morning or afternoon, wherever you are in the world, or I guess it could be middle of the night. And so I've got Greg on the telephone this morning, not on Zoom, and you're about to find out why. I want to say good morning, Greg.
Morning.
Well, actually, it's afternoon for you, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. I don't get out of that mindset. It's morning here. Okay, so let's lay out the story. Last night we left you with a restore operation from Macrium Reflect, and I was expecting the computer to restart and automatically perform a restore to your original operating system installation, which would have been 1909. And when it completed that restore, it should have rebooted automatically and then booted up into your system. So why don't you fill us in? What actually happened?
Well, after the Macrium software reinstalled the old 1909 version that we suspect is corrupted, it rebooted and it came up to a DOS prompt, reboot and select proper boot device, and that's where we're sitting at now.
Okay, so you've got a DOS prompt. Is it actually a C:\\/ with a blinking cursor, or is it just white text on a black screen that you're...
No, white text on a black screen, no dry letter displayed.
Okay, so it's probably a CMOS presentation or BIOS presentation. It can't actually be called a DOS prompt unless you're able to type in DOS commands. So it's telling you to select a boot device, but actually not it doesn't display any boot devices for you, correct?
No, I never saw that.
Okay. So read it once more, and I'm going to pay real close attention to the verbiage.
Okay, it's displaying reboot and select proper boot device, or insert boot media in selected boot device and press a key.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we'll reboot the computer, not yet, but when I say go, and you'll do it with a Control-Alt-Delete. It'll be our first attempt. If that doesn't work, then we'll go to the power switch. And we're just going to watch and see if it offers you a choice of boot devices. If it displays a choice of boot devices, there might be a countdown timer going, in which case you could just press the down arrow key on your keyboard to stop the timer so that you'll have enough time to describe what you see. Okay? So go ahead and try that.
You want me to do Control-Alt-Delete now?
Yep, go ahead and do Control-Alt-Delete.
Okay, Control-Alt-Delete. The prompt went away. I got a single post beep. Republic of Gamers is showing. Came up to the exact same thing.
Okay. So that Republic of Gamers, I think, would figured was the splash screen for your motherboard.
For the BIOS,
Yeah. So F8 is your boot option key. So this time we'll do the same thing, but just do rapid fire on the F8 key and see if we get something different.
Okay, so Control-Alt-Delete first.
Yep.
Okay. Done. Pressing F8. Post beep. Public of Gamers. Okay, please select boot device.
Without any offerings?
Yeah, it's highlighting the C drive, the Samsung.
Oh, okay. All right.
Just click OK.
Yeah.
All right, let's do that.
Does that take a mouse click at that point, or did you have to do the Enter key?
It
Okay.
came up to the same thing.
All right. Oh, it came up to the same thing, meaning.
The boot device.
Now, don't tell us an abbreviation. Read the whole thing.
It's displaying reboot and select proper boot device.
Okay, so
Or
you selected this. You selected the C drive, and it
Yeah.
apparently failed to boot to that.
Right.
Okay. Do you have that USB memory stick for the Windows 10?
Update assistant that we made. Yeah, I've got it right here.
Yeah, it wasn't Update Assistant. It wasn't it the. Don't you have the what's on that now is what we did with Rufus for Windows 10 1909? Isn't that what you have?
Yeah, that's right. Because we just downloaded the update assistant. We didn't install it on the USB last night. That's
Right. That's right.
Okay, so insert that.
Yeah, insert that. And what we're going to try to do is, when we go into there,
Okay,
is
it's inserted.
what we're going to be trying to do there is choose the repair option.
Okay.
Once we get to
Control
that
Alt
point.
Delete again.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm suspecting it'll boot automatically to the USB memory stick since the hard drive is apparently
Now
not.
post beep. Public gamers for the BIOS. Error BIOS legacy boot of UEFI only media. This drive was created by Rufus. It can boot in UEFI mode only, but you're trying to boot it in to BIOS legacy mode. This will not work.
Okay, so that's indicating somehow your BIOS is in legacy mode. And that could be an explanation of why they. Neither way, it's not going to boot either way. So what we're going to do is reboot and rapid fire on the delete key to get into the BIOS setup screen.
Okay, you want me to do that now?
Yep.
It says press any key to reboot.
Okay.
Delete. Post beep.
Okay.
Public gamers. Okay, I'm in the BIOS.
Okay, so hold on there for a moment. I'm going to bring up some photos on my screen. I took some pictures in my Asus BIOS this morning, and I was specifically looking for considerations regarding the boot options, but I'm looking now to see where the legacy option is. Now let's see if we've got the same screen. At the top left of my screen it says Asus UEFI BIOS Utility Easy Mode.
Yep.
That's what you have.
Well, I've got advanced mode.
Did you already select advanced mode yourself, or does yours go into that?
No, it automatically came
It
up.
automatically goes into that. Okay, fine. So I'm going to bring up my picture for advanced mode. And there. Okay, so then in advanced mode, we have choices across the top of main, AI tweaker, advanced monitor, boot, and tool.
Right.
That's what you have?
Yep.
Okay. So I am looking for, I'm not looking at a live Asus BIOS screen. My picture is showing the boot menu, but I'm suspecting on the main menu within that.
Yeah, I'm on the main menu.
Okay, is there any indication in there for operating legacy mode or UEFI mode?
BIOS version, build date, Aegis version, EC version, LED C1, LEDs to CPU information, CPU speed, total memory, system language, system date, system time, access level, administrator, and then security. That's all that's on that screen.
Okay, go take a look at the advanced menu.
Okay, let me click on that. Come on. Let me see if I can just hit enter. See, it's underlined. under advanced. It says main security password description, minimum length, maximum length, user password, administrator password, and that's it.
Not much
Nothing else.
there. So that message that you had when you were trying to boot to the USB memory stick, it was telling you that you need to boot. You need to use legacy.
Change the BIOS from legacy to UEFI.
It said you were trying to boot in legacy mode, but that device needs a UEFI mode. Right. So it was telling us that your BIOS is somehow in legacy mode. All right, so chat room, hello Rick, hello Sane Goat, hello Philip. Harambe says, what's he looking for and what BIOS he has? Okay, so let me bring you guys up to speed with what we've got, because not all of you were here at the beginning of this. So what happened is we left Greg last night with the computer performing the restore operation with Macrium Reflect, and it appears that it did perform the restore operation and then reboot again, and then left him at a white characters on a black background BIOS screen that says select a boot device. And there's no boot devices listed there. When we restarted and pressed F8, we did get an offering of a boot device for the C drive. When he selects that, it fails to boot and then presents again the message to select a boot or restart the computer and select a boot device. When he put in the memory stick that we have Windows 1909 on and tried to boot to it, he gets a message that says, you're trying to boot in legacy mode. This device requires UEFI mode. So it's implying that we have the Asus BIOS in legacy mode. We're trying to find out where that is located in the BIOS setup screen. So I'm going to go to a Google tab here, and Asus X470-F is your motherboard, right?
That's correct.
And so I'm searching Asus X470-F manual, and there's a few from asus.com. I'm going to try this one and see if I can search it for how to switch to legacy mode. And I'm going to look over at the chat room in a moment and see if somebody has told me how to do it. Legacy mode shows 0 hits. Legacy shows 0 hits. I don't think I'm actually in the manual yet. No, this is just telling features. Downloads. Downloads. Take a look at chat. Yeah, Greg's.
Would it be under boot?
Duh. Yeah, let's go to the boot. Let's look closer at the boot menu. Why was I discounting that? But there is. So in the boot menu, I have a photo of that. So tell me if you agree with what I'm seeing. In the boot menu, there's boot num lock state, full screen logo, wait for F1 if error, PCI ROM priority, option. Say again?
Under boot, it says boot configuration, then CSM, then secure boot, and then the boot options and the boot override.
So I'm interested in what you said, boot configuration. I don't seem to have that. So tell me what's in boot configuration.
Okay, let me press the enter key. Under there is fast boot, next boot, boot logo display, post delay time, num lock state, wait for F1 error, option ROM messages, force BIOS, interrupt 19 capture, native NVMe driver support, that's disabled, setup mode, it says advanced mode, and that's it.
Nothing in there about legacy or UEFI, right?
No.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, so Harambe is saying check page 44, but we ran into this yesterday, Harambe. I don't think we have the same manual that you have for page numbers, so maybe a section or something to search for that corresponds to the area that you're looking at. And I'm trying to see a download for a manual. And support, okay, I'm going to support. Downloads didn't look like it had it. Now we got, here's motherboards. Download center, that sounds likely. Model name. All right, so Asus, tell me the board number again.
It's an Asus X470-Foxtrot.
All right. Gaming. Drivers into a manual and document. That sounds likely. See the link I sent. Harambe is saying, see the link I sent. I don't see a link. I think that's probably because you're not a moderator. I have my plans for how to deal with moderators, but Harambe, I'm going to go ahead and make you a moderator. It's only temporary. I haven't explained to you guys yet what my intentions are regarding moderators, so try putting your link in again, Harambe. Here I'm rolling the R and I don't have any idea whether it's legitimate for his name or even if that is really his name. Could be a screen name. RAID configuration guide. No, I want gaming BIOS's manual. That sounds really good. X470F, yeah. User's manual. No, I think BIOS manual sounds really good. Download. Yep, it looks like your link worked now, so I'll try that. It's on a different computer. Let me punch over to this computer. And did that go? Click on that link. Open link in new tab. Still don't see anything happening. Copy link address, open a new tab, paste the link address. And it downloaded in the bottom left corner as a PDF. Okay, great. That computer doesn't even have Adobe Acrobat installed on it. This computer is highly neglected. Let's see if Microsoft Edge will display it. Yeah, all right. So then, seems to me he said page 44, but let me go back here and look. Yeah, he said page 44. Boot device control, boot from network storage devices, secure boot, OS type. Let's get this in page view, single page. Secure boot. This item allows you to configure the Windows Secure Boot settings and manage its keys to protect the system from unauthorized. We were looking at that yesterday, but I don't see that page 44 has anything to... Oh, wait a minute, here it is. Boot device control. This item allows you to select the type of devices that you want to boot. Configuration options, UEFI and legacy. Legacy only. Boot from network devices. All right, so let's go back and look at this one, this photo. Yeah, my options there are different than yours. So, Greg, do you have the option for boot device control?
I'm in advanced right now. You want me to go to boot?
The boot menu, yeah, within
Yeah, let me
advanced.
click on that. Okay, I'm in the boot menu.
Is there an option for boot device control?
It says boot configuration, then there's boot, there's fast boot, next boot, boot logo display, post delay time, nunlock state, wait for F1, option ROM messages, interrupt 19, native NVMe support, and then setup mode. That's all it's displayed.
All right, go to setup mode.
Okay, let me click on that.
Oh, that's just choosing advanced mode or easy mode, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. Looks like this item that we want boot device control is under launch CSM or CSM compatibility support module. Do you have anything along the lines of CSM or compatibility support module?
I have to find it again. I think let's see if it's under advanced.
Look at the very top of page 44, enable CSM. Yeah. Okay, so these items only appear when you set the launch CSM to enable. So we're looking for something called launch CSM. We want that to be enabled.
Oh, speeds. This is all about RAM. And voltage is down below that. My mouse doesn't seem to want to click very good today in this BIOS. Let's see if it's under advanced.
We'd sure benefit from having that cell phone. If that becomes available, please interrupt and let us know. Because I can actually connect to the camera in the cell phone, and you can
There's
just
all the
show
fan
us.
controls. Under monitor. I don't think I saw it under boot. Remember seeing that once before. Trigger. Main. Okay. BIOS version.
And are you in the easy mode right now or advanced?
Advanced.
Yeah, I thought so.
I'm not seeing it.
Okay, so is that cell phone still not available to us then?
He just woke up.
Do you dare ask him when he just woke up?
Let me see.
So let me explain the way that would work. Is I would send a text message to the phone. You would do a few taps on the phone, and that would let me see whatever you're showing us through your camera, live, real time. You're not going to be taking pictures and sending them by text.
Right. I remember seeing that CSM in the past, but I can't seem to find it. It's not under boot.
Hey Tex, I'll explain your question in a moment. Okay, well, I'm going to give another review to the chat room of where we're at and what we're trying to accomplish. And you...
Oh, I found CSM.
Did you? All right.
Yeah.
What is it currently set for? Enabled or disabled?
Says launch CSM, enable boot device control, UE legacy op prompt. Boot network devices, storage devices, and PCIe are all set to legacy only.
They're set to legacy only. Okay. Can you see how to change them to UEFI?
On which one? The storage devices or all three of them?
What are the three of them called again?
The first one, after boot device control, is boot from network devices, boot from storage, and boot from PCI expansion devices. All three of those are set for legacy only.
Okay, awesome. That exactly matches what I'm seeing in the manual as these options. So you're seeing legacy only. So
Right.
for boot device control, let's see, we want that. How about changing that to UEFI and legacy? Can you see how to make that change?
Boot device control is set for UEFI and legacy op prompt.
Okay. Was that what it already was set at?
Yeah, that's what
Okay.
it was listed at.
So now let's look at boot from network devices. We don't care about that, but you're telling me that that is currently set on legacy only, correct?
The network device is set for legacy only.
Okay. Then boot from storage devices. Type of storage.
Click on that. It's set for legacy only.
Okay. Change that to UEFI driver first.
Okay, that's what I saw. Let me click on it. Okay, it's set for UEFI driver first.
Okay. And then the next one is,
PCI expansion is set for legacy only.
let's change that to UEFI driver first.
Okay, they're both set.
All right, then save changes and restart, and I'm going to re-describe to the viewers who have come
I
in.
think it's F10, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Um,
No, that's the search button. Escape. Okay, they're still set. I thought it was F10. Let me go.
well, is there something to click on in the upper right to exit and
Exit. Let me
save?
save changes and reset.
Yeah.
And let me just use the keyboard. Yep, it's showing that those two changes were made.
All right.
It's okay. Do I need to take the USB out
Yes.
or leave it in?
Take the USB out.
Okay, it's removed.
Okay, now I'm going to summarize to the chat room, and I'll check in with you after I finish that, okay? And you'll tell us
All right.
what happened. Okay, so what's happened is we left Greg last night doing a restore operation of the from
Up with the same error.
okay. Can you give me a moment to explain to the chat room what's happening?
Sure.
Okay. We left him off with restoring from Macrium Reflect, and it appeared to complete the restore operation and then reboot again, and it rebooted to a BIOS message that says restart the computer and select bootable media. And it failed to do so. When we use the F8 key during a reboot, it would offer him the C drive as a boot media. When he selected that, then it went to that same prompt about restart the computer and select boot media. So then we plugged in the USB memory stick that has the Windows 10 1909 on it, intending to attempt a repair installation. And it reported that you are trying to boot legacy mode to this device, which requires UEFI mode. And I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but that's the point. It was telling us that that USB memory stick is UEFI device, but it's telling us we're trying to boot in legacy mode, which gave us the idea that somehow the BIOS got set to operate in legacy mode. So we just went through options to reset to UEFI every place that we could select, and now he has restarted, and it has returned to the same thing that tells you to restart the computer and select a bootable device. Is that right, Greg?
Yep, that's what it's displaying.
That's what it's displaying. And you have removed the USB memory stick.
Right, I removed that before I rebooted.
Okay, so let's do a reboot again and rapid fire on the F8 key to get the prompt.
Okay, Control-Alt-Delete.
Yep.
And F8. F8.
And I'm expecting it's going to offer you the C drive as a bootable media. Just wait there once you get there.
Yep. Okay, it's highlighting the C drive, the Samsung.
Okay, so when we got to this point with the USB memory stick, it would then subsequently tell you that you're trying to boot legacy mode to this UEFI device. But previously, when you tried to boot to the C drive, you did not report that message. So I want to watch real closely. You select the C drive here and tell us what message it gives you.
Okay, it's highlighted on the C drive.
Yep.
Let me click OK. I clicked OK, came up to the same prompt.
Okay, we're not going to assume what you mean when you say the same prompt. Tell us what it says.
Reboot and select proper boot device. Or
Okay.
insert boot media and selected boot device and press the key.
So it did not give you the message that you're trying to boot legacy mode to UEFI device. Okay.
No, we got that from when we put the USB drive in.
The memory stick, yeah. Okay, let's see if we get that same behavior with the USB memory stick after the changes that we made. So put the USB memory
Okay, you
stick
want
in.
me to put the USB drive in now?
That's right.
Okay. Okay, it's inserted.
And,
Control-Alt-Delete again.
yep.
Okay, pressed. Post beep. Prompt to enter the BIOS if I wanted to. Same error. The device was created by Rufus. It can boot into UEFI mode only. But
Okay.
you are trying to boot into BIOS legacy. This will not work.
Okay. Pull the memory stick out.
Okay.
Turn the power off for the computer so it's powered off.
Alright, powered off.
Unplug the AC power cable for the computer.
It rebooted again.
Good.
I must have held it too long.
All right, well, when it gets to a stable point, then shut it off again.
Keeps coming back on. Just pull the power cable?
Yeah, well, hold the power button down for 10 seconds. Let's see if it'll do a more full shutdown.
Alright, pressing. Light went off. Okay, it did not come back on.
Did not come back on when you
released.
released. Yeah, let me just make sure I understand what you said. When you released the power button, it did not come back on after you had held the power button down for 10 seconds.
That's correct.
Okay, yeah, pull a power plug.
Okay.
And then I'm going to watch it. I'm going to go a little excessive here.
Stuck on there, good.
Let me know when you have it out.
Okay, power cord's finally removed.
Okay,
Stuck on there.
we're gonna leave it out for a full 2 minutes. So I'm looking at a clock. When my clock over here gets to 36:05, then we'll plug it back in. Now that's a little bit excessive, but I've just learned it's better to be excessive than to question whether you waited long enough. Now what this accomplishes is the power supplies have a capacitor in
All
them.
the internal power from the components.
Okay, let me finish. The power supply capacitors still provide power to components for a period of
Right.
time, and most of them have a LED light on the back that gives you a pretty reliable clue when it's out. And it may be 20 or 30 seconds that you see that out. I've in the sense of resetting hardware devices, I've found this over and over again that disconnecting from power can fix a problem that nothing else has seemed to fix it. And that's particularly true with network adapters on laptop computers. And so in that case, we even pull the battery. And even we know that computers these days, we have the capability of powering the computer on from a cold start by sending a signal through to the network adapter. And that is just evidence that there is still thinking going on through that motherboard, through that CPU, even when the computer's powered off. So by having a substantial no power to the computer, we're forcing a full hardware restart and reset. Now, I don't have high hopes that this is going to fix the boot problem, but it's just close enough and easy enough to do that we have to try it. All right, so it's time. Go ahead and plug it in and try starting it up.
All right, stand by.
Atex, I agree with you. That would typically be fine. Pull a power plug and hold the power button down for 5 seconds, and that is usually adequate. I'm going a little excessive here. And Atex says he has fixed boot issues with this technique, meaning a deep power cycle.
Okay, it's plugged in. You want me to power up?
Yes.
Okay, power up, pressed. Post beep. The logo for the BIOS is coming up. No, same prompt. Reboot and select proper device.
All right. Let's go back into BIOS and look at those options again. Be sure that they held the way that we requested.
Okay, I need to Control-Alt-Delete, I presume?
Yep.
Okay, and then press F8 or just delete?
This delete key
Delete
to get,
key.
yeah, delete
Yeah.
key.
Okay, delete key. Leave your phone here. Alright. Because he wanted to know if I could use it. Okay, I'm in the BIOS now.
All right. So can you get into that CSM section and check on those 4 settings?
I can remember where it was. I think, was it under boot?
Well, do we have the phone available now?
He just went out for a walk. He said he needed it.
Oh, all right. All right, so yeah, can you find that CS?
Well, okay, I got his cell phone.
Okay, let's get us set up with a camera. Let's see. I'm going to. I should be able to put my microphone on mute. That way you can read out the phone number for me. Don't do it yet. I'm going to ask the chat room to confirm that that you cannot hear us. So I'm pushing mute. Oh, here. Pushing mute in 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, microphone's back on. I've got your phone number. I'm going to be sending you a text message, which is going to allow you to install the connection so that we can see through your camera lens.
You have a stand for your phone?
Let's see.
Not 30 degrees out.
Okay, that text message should arrive there.
Okay. Do I do a reply? Oops, I touched something.
Go into the text message. You should find instructions. Are you finding it?
Okay. I need to know, did you send something about an app called Rescue Lens? Is that Rescue
Yes.
Lens?
Yes, Rescue Lens. That's
Yeah. Yeah, he just clicked install it.
perfect. Yeah, the 6-digit PIN code is 157
157
316.
316.
Okay, very good. I've got your phone here. I'm going to right click and choose start. You'll probably have a message asking about recording. You want to answer affirmative.
About recording.
So now it's showing.
Okay, you should be seeing my desktop.
Yeah, so hang on. We're going to hang up the phone call now because I can hear your voice through the connection to your phone.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so your house phone, well, I've just hung up with. And we're seeing the image.
Now you're showing you.
We
So if you look at it, okay, you're seeing exactly. So if he wants to see your desktop down here, no, pointing at the desktop. If he wants to see the screen,
Oh, so it's facing me.
yeah. So you're looking at it just like it was a lens.
Okay. All right.
And just try not to hit anything there,
Yeah.
because you'll accidentally make it go well. So.
All right, so I'm going to see if I can make this larger on our side. That's a little better.
I can't hear you, Doug.
Oh, you can't hear me? All right. I'm going to have to call back to the house phone then. And then somehow mute the phone. Let's see.
It said it's unmuted, so.
I don't think he has this number. Hello?
Yeah, I have this number because you called me.
Oh, okay.
But I can hear you through the phone, but apparently you can't hear me through the phone.
Yeah.
So can you mute the microphone on the phone so that I don't get two voices?
On the cell phone?
Yeah, mute the microphone on the cell phone.
It's, okay. Jeremy, can you mute the cell phone microphone?
Oh, no, you know what? Here's what I can do. I'll just turn
Hold on.
I got an answer. I can just turn down the volume on my cell phone. Can you hear me now?
No, I muted the microphone.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
No.
So I asked if you can hear me now, and you said no.
I'm hearing you on the house phone.
On the house phone. Okay, that's fine. I don't expect you to be able to hear me through the cell phone. And that's just
okay.
not going to work. But you have successfully muted the microphone on the cell phone, so we're good.
That's good.
That's we're good. Okay, so now, here we got your BIOS screen. So we want to get in and see what those options are showing for the CSM. Did you find your way into the CSM area?
Okay, let me try it. Okay, I found it.
All right. So, boot CSM compatibility support. And then, so we see launch CSM is enabled. Boot device control says UEFI and legacy. And then it'll help if you can figure out a way to hold it still. Boot from network devices is legacy only. Let's change that.
Okay, change that to UEFI driver
Yeah,
first.
yeah. I think it's totally irrelevant, but we're just going to be consistent there. Boot from storage devices is UEFI driver first. Boot from PCE expansion devices is UEFI driver first.
Right.
So that all looks good. Now, launch CSM. This whole area is called compatibility support module. And now when I'm thinking about that compatibility support, I don't like that that term. Why do they have that? This item allows you to configure the CSM compatibility support module items to fully support various VGA bootable devices and add-on devices for
Which I don't have any.
Yeah, see, I'm tempted to disable launch CSM. I don't understand why we would ever need that. So we've already tried it enabled with the UEFI driver all the way through. So let's go ahead and disable it and see what we
Okay,
get.
disabled.
Yeah,
Just click OK. Launch CSM is disabled.
okay. So then where is your save and restart?
Oh.
How about
I
it?
gotta go to exit.
Does it give you a clue on the bottom?
The only thing down there is last modified easy mode, hotkeys, and search. There's no pop-up menu. Let's go to exit.
In the upper left corner, that arrow pointed to the left.
Okay, I got it. Save changes and reset.
Yep. Let's try that. So while you're trying that, William's got a comment. If I remember
Okay,
correctly,
it's restarting now.
if I remember correctly, he's using an AMD CPU. Could be memory issue. Harambe says it said it worked only in UEFI mode, right, or legacy mode. Yeah, the computer was telling us the memory stick
It came back up to BIOS.
came back into the BIOS setup screen.
Right.
Without actually booting. Do you have the USB memory stick in place right now?
Do I have the what?
The USB memory stick inserted or not?
No. No, you want me to
It's
insert
not.
it?
No, I just wanted to find out what your status is. Okay, so go ahead and do the save and exit again, but keep the camera pointed to the screen so we can watch that.
Okay. Well, if that's highlighted, I should be able to hit. No? There we go. Save changes and reset.
Let me look at that. Launch EFI shell. Discard changes. Yeah, save changes and reset.
Okay, highlight, enter,
Save and reset. We see that.
click OK.
Yep.
I clicked OK. Post speed.
Keep it pointed to the computer. Keep the phone pointed to the computer.
Yeah, keep pointing to the computer. Went back into BIOS again.
All right, go back and turn and enable the CSM and restart it.
Okay, that was under boot if I remember right. Yeah, there it is.
CSM compatibility
You want
support
me to put
module.
it to auto or
All right, let's go auto. Let's go auto. Automatic.
go auto?
Yeah.
Okay, set to auto.
All right, then exit, save changes, and reset. We're kind of just hammering away now, trying things.
Post beep. F2 to enter the BIOS, it says. Same boot device.
Okay, now this is the first time we've been able to see this, so give us a minute to see it. Reboot and select proper boot device or insert boot media in selected boot device and press the key. Is your second hard drive connected right now?
Yes.
It is. Can you disconnect that? Can you disconnect that?
Okay, hold on, I'll disconnect it.
Yeah, you can put the phone down to disconnect it. Oh, he's talking to us on the house phone and they have a separate cell phone showing us the video image.
Okay, the D drive is disconnected.
All right, go ahead and
Okay.
restart.
Control Alt Delete again?
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Let us keep watching the screen.
I think my battery's getting ready to go on this phone.
Oh yeah.
Came up to the same prompt.
Reboot, select proper device, insert boot medium. Okay. Restart again and hammer away at the F8 key.
Okay, hold on.
So my intention here is to get everything that he's been demonstrating so far on video. All right. Give us
Okay, it brought me up to please select boot device and the Samsung is highlighted.
Okay, give us a closer view of that so we can read it.
Closer view of it.
All right, so we have the Samsung Evo Plus enter setup. Okay, go ahead and select that. And okay, and show us what happens. Okay, reboot and select proper boot device, insert boot media. Okay, then put the USB memory stick in and show us that sequence.
Okay, I'm inserting it now. It's inserted. Control Alt Delete.
Yep.
Okay, pressed. we got the same error.
Oh, okay. Let us absorb this. Inter-BIOS legacy boot of UEFI error. BIOS/legacy boot of UEFI only media. So that's saying the media is UEFI only, and that the BIOS is trying to do a legacy boot. This drive was created by Rufus. It can boot in UEFI mode only, but you are trying to boot it in BIOS legacy mode. This will not work. To remove this message, you need to do one of the following. If this computer supports UEFI, yes it does, go to your UEFI settings and lower or disable the priority of CSM legacy mode. Okay, that's intriguing. Lower or disable the priority of CSM legacy mode. Okay, I've got an idea what we're going to be doing. Or recreate the drive in Rufus and use partition scheme MBR, target system BIOS. We don't want to do that. Or erase the whole drive in Rufus by selecting boot type non-bootable. We don't want to do that. Note, you may also see this message if you installed a new operating system and your computer is unable to boot that operating system in UEFI mode. Let me grasp that a little closer. You may also see this message if you installed a new operating system on your computer, new OS, and your computer is unable to boot from that operating system in UEFI mode. Is there any chance that restored Windows 10 operating system 1909, restored from Macrium Reflect, is unable to boot in UEFI mode? Could that have been booting in legacy mode? And please remove this media pressing the key. Okay. And so that is that. Okay. Remove the USB memory stick and get back into BIOS.
Okay, remove the USB.
Yep.
Okay, it's removed.
Restart.
Press any key.
Yep. And hammer away at the delete key to get into the BIOS.
Delete key. Okay, we're back in the BIOS.
Okay. Let's go to the boot menu.
Okay.
And there's, let's see, boot configuration, CSM. Let's start with boot configuration.
Oops. Okay.
Okay, so we have fast boot is enabled. Next boot after AC power loss is normal. I need to see both sides there. Boot logo display auto, post time, boot numlock stay, rate for F1, option ROM, messages, interrupt 19 capture, AMI native, NVMe drivers, AMI native NVMe driver support is disabled. Setup mode, advanced mode. Why would AMI NVMe driver support be?
That's the way the motherboard was set up by the manufacturer.
Disabled?
You want to see the options?
Yeah, what are the choices there? Well, obviously disabled or enabled. AMI,
Enable it.
not yet. Your BIOS, what brand is your BIOS? It's not AMI, right? Yes, it is. It's American Megatrends Inc. That's AMI.
Yeah, it's the latest one that's listed on their website.
Does anybody in chat know of a reason why AMI native NVMe driver support should be disabled when he has an M.2? I haven't confirmed that it's NVMe. That seems really odd. Doesn't seem right to me. Nobody's responded in chat. Yeah, I'm seeing one response saying that they would enable it. Let's go ahead and enable it. Now, you said that's the way that it came from the manufacturer. Are you assuming that because you haven't made a change?
I have not made any changes other than the RAM frequency.
Okay, so it's an assumption that that has not been changed. I mean, you haven't changed it, obviously, but
No.
I'm not going to bet that some weird twist of something could have changed it. So, yeah, change it to enable.
Okay. It's set to
So
enable.
it's enabled. Now, I'm contemplating whether I'm done with this screen. We're not ready to reboot yet. Let's there in the upper left corner, there's an arrow pointed to the left. Click on that to go back to the prior screen.
Okay, let me go up there. Come on. Okay.
All right. So that was under boot configuration. Let's go into the CSM compatibility support module.
Okay.
And that is currently set on auto. And I see Wintermute put into the chat, disable CSM to boot to that USB. So that it seemed to make sense to me. I don't see why we would need a compatibility support module. That sounds like trying to be compatibility with past. So let's change that to disable.
I understood.
Yeah, let's change that to disable.
Okay.
Well, let me read that message. Due to Microsoft Secure Boot regulations, ensure the Microsoft signed UEFI driver is contained in the plugged PCIe base storage. You gotta hold the camera still. Base storage, including M.2 SSD before set launch CSM disabled. Otherwise, the PCI. Can we figure out a way to hold the phone stable? It's just there's a delay. There's a hesitation for each screen redraw. So every movement blurs the screen. Okay, I think I can read it there if you're able to keep it stable at that position.
Hey, hold it just a second.
Let's see if I can I do this? Can I do this? Yeah, it won't do that. How about due to Microsoft Secure Boot regulations, there, if it can hold stable right there, let it focus. Due to Microsoft Secure Boot regulations, ensure the Microsoft signed UEFI driver is contained in the plug PCIe based storages, including M.2 SSD before set launch CSM to disabled. Otherwise, the PCIe based storage will be only available for the data drive usage. Contact PCI storage member. Okay. It still shows as auto. Can you change that to disable?
Change that to disable.
Yep.
Okay, it's set to disable.
Okay, then click the left arrow in the upper left corner to go back to the prior screen. It should be when you're pointing to that and your cursor changes to a finger. How about if you point right to the word boot, right there? Click on that, the word boot. Does that take you back to the prior screen?
Oops. Is that where you want it? Right, yeah.
There, that's
Right,
where
yeah,
that's where we want. Okay.
That's the previous screen.
Okay, so click into Secure Boot.
Okay.
And let's look what we got here. Secure Boot State User Platform Key Unloaded OS Type Other OS. What are the choices there?
Okay, let me check.
Let's choose Windows UEFI mode.
Okay, let me select that. Okay.
All right, then where it says Secure Boot State User, it looks like that's unchangeable, and Platform Key
Yeah.
is unchangeable. Okay, fine. And Key Management, does that have anything in that section? If you click
I
on,
would assume so.
yeah, click on that. Let's see what's in there. I don't think we want any. Clear Secure Boot keys. Don't do anything yet. I'm not familiar with this area. Clear Secure Boot keys. Save all Secure Boot variables. PK management, KEK management, DB management, DBX management. Does anybody in chat know what this area is about? Let's just click the left arrow in the upper left corner and go back to the prior screen. I think these are some form of secure boot keys if you're using that feature. Secure boot state is set for user. All right, click the left arrow in the upper left corner. Dan the man, I'm assuming your reference to nothing you need right now is that we don't care about those secure boot keys right now.
Okay.
All right.
Back one.
Okay, so now here's what I really want to get to is boot option 1. Don't click on it. Hard drive priorities boot override. Hard drive BBS priorities. Click on that.
Okay. Oops.
All right, and it has boot option 1. What's in that drop-down list? I'm guessing nothing else.
Disabled is the only thing.
Okay, that's fine. Click on the left arrow to go back. Actually on the word boot. You're clicking on, right?
Here we go.
Okay. Boot option 1. Now, if you click on where it says Samsung SSD, if you were to click on that now, I believe it's going to immediately restart the computer to that device. I'm saying that because that's the way mine operated, but my BIOS is a little bit different than yours.
Okay, do I click on the boot override one or the one up here?
Well, I don't want you to click on that yet, but I'm just commenting. And in the experience on my computer, that item right there, if you click on it, it would immediately restart the computer. I don't want to lose the changes we've made. So I'd rather exit and save changes.
Okay.
So let's exit, save changes, and restart.
Great.
Yep.
Okay. I needed to. Back into the BIOS.
Okay, go into the boot menu.
Okay.
And then go into boot option priorities.
It's gray shaded. I can't change it.
All right, go into boot configuration. And we did that NVMe driver support is still enabled.
Yeah.
So that stuck. Okay. Is there an option around maybe on the bottom somewhere about load BIOS defaults?
That's under the boot, under the exit.
All right, let's go try that.
Load optimized defaults.
What other choices there? Load EFI shell optimize defaults. Yeah, load optimize defaults. Let's do that.
Click OK.
Yep.
That's all it did.
And then exit, save changes, restart. Let's look at that. What is it telling us there that it's good? SP clock spread spectrum enabled, memory frequency, DD4, CPU core ratio, AMI native driver support. Oh, look at that. It's changing. The optimized defaults is taking AMI native NVMe driver support. It's changing from enabled to disabled. You are exactly right. That's the manufacturer default. The wording doesn't make sense. Why would you want to disable NVMe? Launch CSM changing from disabled to enabled. OS type changing from UEFI mode to other. It's reversing the things that we thought we wanted to change to. Those don't really make sense in my mind. Click OK.
Came up to the same DOS prompt, reboot, select proper boot device.
All right, let me talk to chat for a minute here. Wintermute says you disabled CSM but took the USB out. Thought you were trying to boot to that USB. What is on the Samsung SSD? The Samsung M.2 SSD currently has Greg's original restored Windows 10 1909 image. And that was the primary intention to reboot to that. The only reason we were trying to reboot to the USB was to try to get something to boot and actually to try to perform a repair operation from the Windows 1909 installation media that's on that USB. But when we try to boot to the USB, the computer tells us that that USB requires UEFI mode, and it tells us that we're trying to boot to it in legacy mode. Now we just did a reset to optimize defaults. It certainly seems to me that optimized defaults should be able to boot to a UEFI USB. So let's put that memory stick back in and try restarting. Hello, Josty1, welcome back.
Okay, memory stick is in there. Control-Alt-Delete again.
Yep.
Okay, pressed. BIOS legacy boot of UEFI only.
Okay, we've got a few more people in, I think, on the live stream now. So let's review this again and bring some others up to speed. So, error BIOS legacy boot of UEFI only media. So I'm reading that to say that it's telling us we're trying to legacy boot to media that is UEFI only. So with BIOS defaults for this motherboard, it's failing to boot to a UEFI USB media. That just does not make sense to me.
Do I need to go down to my son's computer and put the USB in there and delete all the files?
Well, that's on my mind. Another thing that's on my mind is to go into the BIOS and do a update to your BIOS. We know you're already on the most current version. We know you've done that update, but
Right, that's the latest one listed on their website.
yeah. My only reason for thinking that is because it just seems like this BIOS is not working right. And we know something about your computer has not been working right, but today's the first time we've encountered it at the BIOS level. It's just craziness. Now let's see, that's... All right, let me read through this again. It can boot in UEFI mode only. No duh. But you are trying to boot it in BIOS legacy mode. How are we trying to do that? We did nothing to try to do that. To remove this message, you need to do one of the following. If this computer supports UEFI, which it does, go to your UEFI settings and lower or disable the priority of CSM/legacy boot. We had tried disabling CSM. We had tried, and when we did the reset, it re-enabled CSM. Now this part about lowering the priority of CSM legacy mode, we didn't see an option for that. On my computer, I found a place where I could change the priority of which bootable device would try to boot. And we didn't see that option on your computer, perhaps because we didn't have the USB memory stick connected at the time we were looking there. That could be. All right, let's leave the memory stick in and go into BIOS.
Okay, go into the BIOS?
Yep. Let's see. Looking at chat. William, does he still have a Windows ISO USB? It should tell if it can.
Okay, I'm in the BIOS.
Okay, give me a minute to read messages here. Does he still have a Windows ISO USB? It should tell if it can the M.2 drive. I'm not understanding. Oh, have a. Does he still have a ISO USB? Well, that's, yeah, the USB that he's got in there right now is Windows 1909. Windows 10 1909. Wintermute default must be CSM enabled. Okay. William, could the ghost from his past Windows be haunting him? Yeah. Harambe, you didn't try CSM UEFI only. Correct. We said first. We didn't say only. I like that. Wintermute, when you loaded default in BIOS, it reset CSM to enabled. Go back, disable CSM. Leave USB in, boot to it. All reasonable points. Okay, so go to the boot menu.
Okay, let me go to the boot menu. Okay.
And then go into CSM compatibility support module. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Go back. Go back to that prior screen, because this was the area I was just describing, I think. We will come back into here. All of those bunch of legacy only choices on there.
Okay, there we go.
What in the world? Okay, so yeah, I wanted to look in here. See, we have the boot option 1 is the Samsung SSD, and then next is UEFI General USB, and then UEFI General Flash Disk 1, General Flash Disk 1100. There's good things there. USB, BBS, hard drive, BBS priorities. Click on the drop down for boot option 1. And show me what's there. I need to point the camera to it.
Point the camera here.
General, oh, that's good. General USB flash disk 1100, partition 1, partition 2, general USB flash, disabled. Okay, so those are the different things that you could, that's the different choices we could use for position 1. We want the Samsung SSD to be in position 1. That's fine. Okay, go back to the lower left area of that section. And show me with the camera, the lower left area of that section.
Lower left, there you go.
Okay. Hard drive BBS priorities.
Click on that.
Yep. Okay. Boot option 1. Now look at that drop down list. It should have those same choices. Oh, not same choices. Okay, because it's yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, left arrow to go back to the prior screen. All right, I'm satisfied with this section. Then let's go back up to that CSM area. CSM compatibility support module. And then let's change all of those to UEFI only. Network devices, yeah, we don't really care what it says. Storage devices, what choices we get? Yeah.
VI driver first.
Yeah, that's the only thing we can do there. And then do the same thing on that last one, I think it's just driver first. So the only one that we can set to UEFI only is the boot device control choice.
Right.
All right, let me look back. Give me a minute to look at chat. You didn't try CSM UEFI only, so that's what we've got now, Harambe. Winter mute, when you loaded default in BIOS, it resets CSM to enabled. Go back and disable CSM, leave USB and boot to it. So we'll do that next. We can't do both of those suggestions from Harambe and Wintermute at the same time. All right. Save, exit, restart. Let's exit, save, and restart.
Okay, exit. Save changes. Shows what we changed.
Yeah, let's look at those. Confirm. Legacy to UEFI only, And legacy to UFE driver, first in 2, 3 sections. Okay, yep, click OK.
All right, let me click OK. Okay.
Griffin says in the boot menu he can go down more. We'll take a look at that when we're back in there. Now, when it did that Macrium Reflect backup, you indicated that you did not actually watch it run the restore operation. Is that right?
All I remember seeing is a small dialog box. Oh, I got the Windows logo.
You got the Windows logo?
Yep. Now it's at the Windows install page.
All right, let's see that. Now you have the USB memory stick in right now, right? Okay, so let's restart the computer, pull that memory stick out, and see if we can get booted to the.
Okay. Pull the stick out now.
Yeah.
Okay, it's removed.
Restart the computer.
Control Alt Delete, I presume.
If it'll work, I don't think it will. I think you'll have to use the power button, or or maybe there's
Hitting the power button.
All right, that's fine.
Okay. Press it again.
Did it not automatically restart?
No, it did not automatically
All right.
restart.
Yeah, go ahead and press the button to start it.
Go ahead and press it.
Yeah.
Okay. Pressed.
I would have thought it would have booted first to the SSD rather than the USB, so it makes me think that the M.2 is still not going to boot.
It went back to the BIOS.
Yeah. Okay, so put the memory stick back in, restart the computer.
Okay, let me put the memory stick back in. Okay, it's inserted.
Restart the computer.
Just Control Alt Delete, I presume.
Yeah, I think so.
No,
Yeah.
nothing's happening.
All right, well, save and exit then.
Okay, save and exit.
Yeah, Wintermute, I was thinking the same thing.
Restarted now. I never even got a chance to move the mouse and it restarted.
All right. Wintermute, I'm on the same page with you, doing a repair install. Yep, and William, you're saying the same thing. So what we're expecting is to boot to that USB memory stick into the Windows setup, and we're going to choose the repair existing
Okay, the
installation.
Windows gear is spinning. Okay, it's at the select language. I assume click next
Yeah,
and click repair your computer.
that's right. Repair in the bottom left corner.
Yep. Okay, click on it.
And I think it'll.
Troubleshoot, I presume.
Let's see what you got there. Yeah, troubleshoot.
Yeah, I never got that before when I was.
That's right. So I'm thinking it's going to be startup repair first, but let me look at the rest of this stuff first. So then the other choices are command prompt, no. Uninstall updates, no. UEFI firmware settings, no. What's the next one? Camera's not pointed to the right side of the screen. There's system restore, system image recovery. So yeah, none of those look right. So startup repair. Let's go that way.
Startup repair.
Boy, I've tried this so many times that it hasn't failed to repair.
Displaying diagnosing your PC.
Hi,
Click repair your PC. Advanced options.
let's see. Let's show me what's on there. Startup repair couldn't repair your PC. Advanced options. That's never a good site. Go ahead and click advanced options. Hello, Frankie B. Yeah. Does this look familiar or what? Go ahead and click troubleshoot. I think we're in a loop. Yeah, we're not getting anywhere there. Caramba. Command prompt. Let's go command prompt. X sources. Type a dir space C:\\.
DIR C:\.
Space C:\\. You'll need the shift key to get the colon.
Oops, I got
Yeah, that's not it.
light bulb in there. Oops. Okay. Is that what you want?
You need the other slash. That's a /. You need a backslash. It's usually near the backspace key.
Trying to remember where it is.
Right side of the keyboard near the backspace key.
That one?
No.
No.
That's with the shift key. Do that same key without shift.
Now, let me get rid of that other character.
Okay, press enter.
Press enter.
Yeah, okay, so that's just a the actual C drive is located somewhere else. I don't see that that's important for us to go hunting around with it. I think our easiest recourse here is to do a fresh install of the Windows 10 1909 and then go straight to Macrium Reflect and run the restore operation. But this time we can watch it with the camera and get it, see where it went wrong, because somewhere that obviously went wrong. So turn off your PC, yes, go ahead and click that, restart the computer, let it boot to the memory stick, and let's install Windows 10 1909, and then we'll install Macrium Reflect and perform the restore operation.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna power up. Post speed.
Oh, that's your computer, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're seeing it now, and you got a transparent cover on the side. And for those who don't know, Greg built this computer based upon his learnings from Kerry Holzman's YouTube channel.
Okay, I'm seeing the Windows logo spinning.
Okay?
Okay, it's up to the English language. That's all set up.
Yep.
Next.
Next.
Install now.
Yep.
Set up to starting. Okay, I do not have a product key.
Correct.
Home is selected. Next.
Yep.
Accept the license.
Yep.
Next. Custom.
Let me consider this. Yeah, click the left arrow in the upper, the left arrow in the upper left corner. Let's reconsider those two choices there. Upgrade installation could potentially repair what is currently on the drive, which is that, well, we intended for it to be the Macrium, the Windows 1909 but we don't know if that succeeded. It could be the 20H2, in which case 1909 is not going to be able to upgrade it. So can you show me those options again? The camera needs to go back to the monitor.
Show the options again.
Or custom. Yeah, let's take custom.
Okay. Custom. Delete the two partitions,
Yes.
I presume?
Yes, delete the two partitions so that you only have unallocated space.
Yeah. Okay. Drive 0, unallocated space is the only thing being displayed.
All right, then go ahead and proceed. All right, so this is going to take a while. I don't feel any need to have you guys holding that camera up for this. And once you get up to Windows, we could do the Zoom session with the camera. So I think we could abort the phone connection.
Okay, the cell phone connection we can get rid of?
Yeah, the cell phone connection, right, with the
Okay.
camera.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, and tell your son thank you for me, please.
Yeah, I just did.
Okay.
He's going for a short walk. It's
All right.
nice out today.
All right. I envy him. I would like to do that.
It's at 8% right now.
All right.
Oh.
Let's see. So where do I want to go? I'm gonna end that connection for the cell phone when it lets me. I'm getting a spinning circle here. Where can I end this? Let's try this X here. It's not wanting to close the phone connection. It's probably because maybe he locked the phone. Oh, no, that dropped me out of my Log Me In Rescue console. So I need to get back into that. Grab a security code here.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to get up to 61 or 62 today.
Yeah, I think we're up in the 60s today too.
Yeah, there's 4 or 5 people out doing stuff.
Looking forward to that.
I think I got to replace this battery in this cordless phone. I keep hearing it beeping.
Oh, do you want
It was
to?
on the charger all night and all day yesterday, except when we used it for a little bit.
All right. Do you have?
Once I get back up and online, I have to go to Amazon and order a new battery.
Yeah, and fortunately, we're not too far away from being able to get into a Zoom session. You have the webcam back at your computer?
Yeah, the webcam's plugged in.
All right. Awesome.
And we're at 58% now.
All right. I see a question from Rick. How do you get that red box with my name on it? When Josty1 typed a message to you, he included the @ symbol in front of your name. If you type an @ symbol and then type anybody else's name, you'll see a drop-down list that you can pick somebody from. And now that's if you're doing it from a computer. I don't think you get that capability from a mobile device. Maybe somebody could confirm that in chat, but I don't think that works from a mobile device. See what happens if I go over here.
I just hit 81%.
All right. Harambe with an applause emoji. Thank you. Oh, you're saying that to Rick. And then Rick just figured that out. Oh, and Sane Goat says it does work on mobile too. Thank you for that. Did not know that.
We're at 92%.
All right. What happens if I do this? Take away that.
96%. I wish they'd make that font a little bit bigger instead of that little 8-point font. DOD requires everything to be in 10-point,
Okay.
which is a lot easier to read. Complete. Installing features, installing updates. Windows will restart in 9 seconds, 8 seconds. Okay, do I need to remove that USB now? Because it's rebooting.
Yeah.
Okay, it's removed. Couple of gamers for the enter the BIOS if I needed to.
All right, so here's popping out the chat. These the kebab menu up here in the upper right, and click pop out chat. And there. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get the Zoom session going. If anyone else is interested in jumping into the Zoom session just to visit for a little bit.
A little sign in here, put the Wi-Fi there, and we'll have your PC ready.
Yeah, so if anyone's interested in jumping in to the Zoom session just for a little bit until Greg comes in, you're welcome to do so. I'll put the credentials in chat. So Zoom ID is 559.
Okay. Region is US. Yes.
Yep.
Keyboard, yes. US. Skip. Now we have some important setup to do.
Oh, that is the Zoom meeting. Well, let's see. I got a question from Harambe. What do you love more, your PC or Mac? I'm a PC. I got the Mac years ago when I wanted to really get serious about editing videos and creating videos, but PCs are definitely my world.
Okay, it's saying, let's add your account. Do I put in my email address?
No.
Random characters.
No. Let's.
Create an account?
No, slow down, wait. we don't. Let's see. Last time, did we do your email address? So we unplugged your internet, which we forgot to do that again this time around. Can we do that now?
Unplug the internet cable?
Yeah, go ahead and unplug it.
Okay, it's unplugged.
All right, and then is there a continue button?
Learn more next.
Okay. Let's see. How did we get through this last time? Oh, we restarted we went back. Is there a back button?
Yeah, there's a back arrow.
Click the back
Click on
arrow.
that.
Yeah, click the back arrow.
Yeah, who's going to use this PC?
Yeah. Is there another back arrow?
No other back arrow.
Okay. So who's going to use this PC? Does it give you a place to just type in a name?
Just put my name in there, I presume?
So is that a yes answer for you? Yes or no question. Does it give you a place to type in a
I'm the only
name?
one that used it.
Okay, go ahead and type in a name. Rick, I have you on mute right now.
Just my first name?
Yes.
Okay, then click next.
Yeah.
Okay, password. I'll put
No.
the same password
Okay.
I used before.
All right.
Okay, clicking next, confirm it.
Okay, while you're waiting to get to the next point,
Okay, now it says security questions.
yeah, you remember what we did there?
Do they have to be the same?
No, they don't have to be the same, but I'm just suggesting it's easy to remember to just select the first question, put an answer of a lowercase a, and then the next question, take the first available question,
Lowercase alpha.
lowercase a, and that way you can get through them quick and easy.
Thing. Lowercase alpha. Next. Number 3. Alpha. Next. Okay, saying just a moment. No, I don't want to do more across devices. So no.
Okay.
Digital assistant decline. Okay, I'm at the privacy settings, turning them off, except location. Okay. Everything's off, except. Looks like Cortana came back up again. Now it's displaying hi. We're getting everything ready for you. This may take several minutes. Do not turn off your PC, of course.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's let you deal with that for a few minutes. I'm going to visit with Rick here for a minute or two, then I'll come back to you, okay?
Okay, I'll be standing by.
All right, thanks. Rick, are you ready to turn the volume down on your YouTube video? And there you can go ahead and unmute yourself. And do we have you now, Rick?
Yes, I turned the audio off on YouTube.
Okay, very good. So for the chat room, this is Rick Hubbard.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, he came on the Zoom session with us a little bit last night. Now, listen, you're in England, and it's late night there.
Yeah, getting on for 7 p.m. here.
7 p.m. Okay. Oh, just evening. All right.
Okay, we're at the desktop.
Okay, so Rick, if you want to stand by, I'm going to put you on mute again. We'll come back to you
Mute
when we have
mute
another
again.
delay.
I need to put the internet cable back in, correct?
Yes, you do. Put the internet
Okay,
cable
stand by.
back in.
Okay, the internet cable is in. Do you want to allow PCs to go? No, I don't let anybody else enter, so I'll select no. Okay, let's finish setting up. Click OK. Remind me later, saying, let's finish setting up your device. Go remind me later. Logitech capture software, you said close that, don't install it.
I'm sorry, what was that again?
Logitech capture software, you said
Oh.
do not install it.
Yeah,
right?
no, don't install it.
Okay, that's closed. Click on the Edge browser, I presume.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm catching up on the chat stuff here. Let's see. William Dawson, computers are fun if you like a pain in the rear sometimes. Yes, I do. Justy one says, it's always a learning experience. That's a piece that I love about it. Just addicted to learning. Harambe, I'm a fellow Brit. Oh, Harambe's a Brit also, Rick. Leicester here. Oh, you guys already realize that. And how is the present problem going in the world in England? That's got to be talking about our friend Rona.
Okay, I'm on the web.
Okay, so go to the website logmein123.com.
LOG me in 123.com. Okay, start the support. Click on that. Okay, I'm at the support connection screen.
Is it asking you for a 6-digit PIN?
Yeah,
Okay, the PIN is 468912.
468912. And click start download. It's downloading. Open the file, I presume.
Yep.
Click OK. Okay, the chat box is up.
Okay. I got a ding on my side. Right click start. And launch remote session.
Click OK.
Yep. Okay, and you see the mouse moving on your screen?
Yep.
All right, we're back.
All right.
Ay, caramba.
Cook and look gas, as they say.
Yeah, so last night we started the restore operation, and since we were at the end of a 3-hour session, we dropped our communication, and you reported back today that the restore operation seemed to complete, and then the computer restarted and wound up at that prompt telling you to put in a bootable disk. Restart the computer and put in a bootable disk. And then once we connected today, we then found if we press the F8 key when we have the memory stick in, we get that message about you're trying to boot a UEFI device using legacy mode, and we don't understand why what was triggering it to be legacy mode. So what we've done now is we've reinstalled again Windows 10 1909 to show that here that we should be on 1909, and rather than doing all the updates again, we're just going to go straight to attempting to restore from Macrium Reflect the image that we have on your second drive, which also means we're going to need to reconnect it, and we have already found that it will not do a hot swap, so we're going to have to shut the computer down for you to reconnect. And so we have not brought you up on Zoom yet, and since we're about to restart the computer, I don't think that makes any sense to do.
Yeah.
Just yet, unless your phone dies.
Hopefully it'll last a couple more minutes.
Yeah, because you're using a landline phone, but it's a cordless phone, so it's dependent on a battery. So then home use, and I don't remember the name in the chat, but point out we don't have to put an email there. We can just click continue. And this downloads to the bottom left corner.
Yep.
Open file. And we want free. Go to that folder, find, run the installer right away, click download. So while it's doing the restore operation, we're not going to be able to see it unless your son's back from the walk, and I'm a little concerned that we're overimposing on him, but it sure would be nice to have be able to look through the camera on his phone again while it's doing the restore operation. What do you think, Greg? Is that doable, or have we over?
I don't know. I'm not sure if we should or not.
All right.
I think we should just go straight to H2.
Without restoring your original image?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so that's indicating that you don't want to continue trying to solve the problem with your original Windows 10, but just go ahead and take the fresh H2 that we got and then build up what you need from there.
Right. I think that's the best shot. Really.
Okay, that's fine.
Takes up a lot of your time.
Okay, then what we'll do is restore the image backup we did of the H2, and actually that's an interesting point. Is that going to restore properly since your image failed to restore properly?
So.
Yeah, I would hope so. Do I have the right screen on? Yeah, I do. And launch now. Because we've known all along it would not be a huge problem for you to restore, to build yourself up from a good H2, because you don't have a lot of stuff that you use. Now, one thing though, we did not, I neglected to create a Fabs Auto Backup, which means we don't have any of your documents or pictures or configurations.
I get that. I copied all that over to my D drive.
Oh, okay, great. Well, then let's go ahead and shut down so that you can connect the
D drive.
the D drive, and then we'll restart the computer. So I'm going to, let's see, which way do I want to do this? Reboot. We can do, oh, you know what? Before I do that, I'm going to put an icon on your desktop. Let's see, I'll come over here, and I got a calling card. Log Me and Rescue gives me a thing called a calling card. So I clicked a button on my side, and then it's got this message here we have to click OK to, and that's going to put an icon on your desktop over in this area, so that after we restart the computer, you can simply double click that icon and it'll reestablish the remote connection without you having to go to the website of logmein123.com.
Okay.
All right, and when we do that, we're going to be going right into the restore operations. So again, I don't see that we even care about the Zoom session for that. So I'm ending the remote session. All right,
Okay.
so you can go ahead and shut down.
Shut down and reconnect and then restart.
Yeah, shut down, reconnect your second drive, and restart the computer.
Okay, stand by.
Okay, Rick, coming to you. And let's see, I'll click on the ask to unmute. And there you're unmuted. So hello there again, Rick.
How you doing?
So this is the Doug and Rick show again. Passing time until Greg comes back with us. You're not wearing the headset this time. Weren't you wearing a headset yesterday?
No, I was wearing headphones after 11 p.m, so I don't know the guy downstairs.
Ah, that's what it was. Just headphones.
2 apartments, one above.
Oh, all right. So let me catch up with chat here. Sangode, England protests are getting lit right now. William, there are protests here too in the U.S., but not a big issue in Cocoa, Florida. Jousty 150 miles south of Chicago, Illinois is relatively calm, just the normal crime. Sangode, I'm glad I live in a rural area where I only see protests online. William Dawson, I think people are getting tired of the problem and just want to get back to normal. You know, yeah, I think that's a pretty solid observation. So I don't know if everybody in chat is caught up with where we're at and what has happened with Greg, but you probably just heard this recent decision by Greg that will go ahead and just restore the Windows 10 20H2 that we built last night, and then he will rebuild up whatever he needs from there. Rather than, our intent today was, after restoring his original 1909 from last night, is we were going to try to bring it up to 20H2. Now, I did have plans for that, or thoughts about how we could go about that, and it's based upon the suspicion that his operating system was corrupt, and that was based upon, well, the first thing on my list of what that was based upon is that his advanced boot options didn't seem to be right, because we didn't have the capability of telling it we want to boot to USB memory stick. But I checked that out on my computer and it's not there either. I'm also on an Asus motherboard. So I'm thinking maybe that is no longer available at that point. So I don't think that indicates a damaged operating system. However, Rufus on Greg's Windows 1909 was unable to create that USB bootable memory stick with the Windows 1909 operating system. He had to go to his son's computer to do that, and it worked just fine. And also the disk management on Greg's computer failed to fix that partition problem on the USB memory stick, but his son's computer worked just fine. Also on Greg's computer, the Windows Update failed in many different ways, with the Update Assistant, with trying to do it from Media Creation Tool, from downloading the update and trying to install it every which way. It failed, and it failed immediately.
Okay, I presume
Yes.
Okay. And it says, enter my name.
Yep.
Just Greg.
Yep.
Connect.
Yep. So we're going to go back on mute for you, Rick. And I've got a ding dong doorbell and right click start.
Allow all access.
Yep, I'm clicking on a restart a system service. That might give you an extra user account control to click on.
Yeah, it says Windows Firewall has blocked some features. Allow access.
Yes, we want to allow.
Yep. Okay, I clicked it. User account control is enabled on PC. Click OK to rescue to elevate your session.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Okay, to view the desktop, yeah.
Yep, I'm with you now. Okay, so bring
Want
these
to do
down.
Zoom next?
We're gonna go pretty quick into restoring.
I just
That-
don't want this phone to die.
Oh, okay, yeah. Let's do that. Let's do that. So that way you can just get the phone on the charger right away. Zoom.us, since this installation doesn't have that installed yet. And then we'll join a meeting, and that's going to do a download eventually. Get the meeting number 559-500-3498, which, by the way, is the same as my Skype phone number. And downloads to the bottom left corner. Open
Yeah, it's
file.
downloaded. Installing Zoom.
Answer yes. Passcode 123123. It's actually number 5 6 times.
Okay, there's the camera.
Okay, so if once we get audio on both sides, we'll hang up the phone. You can put it on the charger if you want.
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you, so hang up the phone.
I think I can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Can you,
video and audio is loud and clear.
all right, very good.
Okay, I'm gonna hang up the house phone.
Yep.
Okay, it's done.
All right, so we're minimizing the zoom on your side, and I need to move around the picture-in-picture setting here. That brings this in, and move that guy up, and bring this guy down. And where is that? It's still not showing the right thing. Meeting and panel. Here. Does that do it? There they are. There's everybody's. And bring that picture-in-picture down. All right, then minimize this browser. Close this guy, go into Macrium Actually, before Macrium Reflect, I want to go just take a look at that D drive and see what we expect to see. There's a Cronus backups were in there, and the Macrium Reflect backups are in here. All right.
Yep.
Launch Macrium Reflect, insert yes. go to the restore option, browse for an image. Yeah, over here on the left panel, I'll click the D drive, double click Macrium Reflect Backups, and click on the Great Fresh Win 1020
Yep,
H2.
I agree with that.
Yeah, wait. What? Oh, Windows 10 20H2. Yeah, that ought to have had a hyphen in there to read it right. I get it now. Yeah. Click open. But now while we're in here, I can describe one of the things that I was anticipating doing for a solution here. So there were two directions that I was expecting to go today for trying to actually solve the problem. One is to restore the 1909, Greg's original 1909, which we thought we would have today, but that didn't work out. And then on Greg's son's computer, create a memory stick for Windows 20H2, and then boot Greg's computer to that memory stick with 20H2 and perform an upgrade installation when the computer is booted from the memory stick. And I think I had mentioned in a previous video that I didn't think you could do that because I thought when you boot from the memory stick it has to be a fresh install. But I think I was remembering back to the days when we were upgrading from Windows 7 to Windows 10. And in that case, I think it was true if you wanted to do an upgrade from Windows 7 to Windows 10 that you had to have the computer booted from the C drive, Windows 7, and then run the setup from the memory stick. But I think these days with doing a cumulative update that we can boot from the memory stick with a Windows 10 20H2 and perform an upgrade installation. I don't think I've actually tried that, but I think that would work. So that, I think, would replace the allegedly corrupted operating system files on Greg's computer. The other option that I had mentioned while we were doing a restore using Macrium Reflect Backup is that, let's see, let me get to the image. This is not the image. Let me go. We're on the Restore tab, browse for an image. It'll be easier to describe this next piece when we're actually on that image. Or was I at that image? No. 20H2, open that. Oh, okay, so this is the image. GregFest 1020H2, restore image. I want to get to the point to where we can see the restore and the disk to restore to. So we're going to restore this to this one. So this was his second drive listed as disk 1. His disk 2 is actually his 970 Evo Plus M.2. Now this right in here does not identify that as the M.2. And it's a little bit backwards looking at this because we know his computer boots off of the M.2, yet it is disk 2. And disk 1 is the SSD that he has plugged in as his second drive. And we confirm that by seeing the D colon. And we see down here that the C colon is confirming that this is the M.2 drive. Now, we saw at one point that we had on Greg's original Windows 10 1909, it was indicating an MBR drive. Well, in the restore option, it would have been down here. And we were trying to restore a GPT backup to the MBR drive. Well, I think the error that I made in that time is that I copied all selected partitions. And I think that's what caused his M.2 to be again configured as MBR. If I would have instead done this, remove the check mark for all of those, and only restored the C partition from the MBR backup to the GPT, it would have replaced only this partition, and I think that is a way to get successfully a C drive that was on an MBR disk restored onto a disk that is prepared as GPT, and therefore have a GPT booting C partition. I think I've done that before. So that was the second option of what I was intending to do today. What we are going to do is actually restore that fresh Windows 10 20H2 from the backup file to Greg's M.2 drive. Now, in doing that, I'm questioning, should that be all of the partitions? I think so, because they're both GPT. And these auxiliary partitions, I don't know if that's an accurate word to use. They're not exactly the same size. So I would think using these auxiliary partitions that were created with the Windows 10 20H2 would be the right choice. So when I click on copy partitions here, that's going to make this arrangement show up down here. If I don't click copy partitions, if I just click next, it accomplishes the same thing without us being able to see those side by side. So here we go. That's done. Now I'm looking at chat to see if anybody has questions about that or things they want to insert here. Looking to catch up where we're at, getting tired. Yeah, William says, Greg restoring his files and programs one at a time may show which one, if any, are the issue. So I'll throw in at that point, I have become, over time, I have evolved to become, over time, very skeptical about third-party utility programs. Especially once we got into Windows 10, concerned about could they be messing things up, because third-party utility programs are trying to tinker around in the operating system level, and I just don't trust them to be as good at that as they were in Windows 7. And also I've evolved to that because I found I seem to have more problems with my computers than my clients in their offices. My clients in their offices have always had very clean computers without using any additional utility programs, and that's true to today. And I just find they don't seem to have the kind of difficult, bizarre problems that technicians tend to get. So that's just in my opinion, IMHO, in my humble opinion. Then Justy one, with the way the world is going, I wonder what the new normal would look like. I think the new normal is going to be different. I don't think we're going to return back to the way it was. I just have a hard time even imagining going back into densely populated crowds. Justy one, glad Greg doesn't have as many programs to reinstall as I would have to do. I understand that. All right, very good. So, ready to go here. And what are we going to do? This is going to begin the restore operation. It won't take very long to do. We're going to lose communication once it reboots. And you've determined that we're not going to come back to the cell phone connection. Greg Greg, are you still with me? Are we still connected? Did he step away? I think Greg stepped away. And Rick dropped out. Fine. Stream's still going. Oh, Greg, you're back?
Yeah, I had to make a pit stop.
Okay, I did do that eventually. After I went off on a long ramble. So when we click next here, it's going to start doing the restore operation. We're going to lose communication with you. And let's see, you could call back to my phone. Let me know what's going on. It's not going to take very long. You know what? I'm going to leave the stream going. And because you're able to just call me as soon as you get a result.
As soon as I get to the desktop.
Yeah, or fail to get to the desktop.
Okay.
I know you didn't want me to say that as a possibility. Yeah, let's do that. As a matter of fact, now you got your cordless phone on a charger, so maybe you don't want to call right away, but you use your judgment as to when you're going to call me. So here we go, finish, and we're off and running. Build rescue media. So this is what's going to allow your computer to automatically reboot and automatically start restoring that backup. Since we don't know why the restore failed, that's why I'm a little nervous that we might still have a problem with restoring. Let's see, I've got that there. 15 viewers right now. Thank you, everybody, for being along for the ride and the support and the comments, the chit chat. Time for me to stand again. Same Goat, you say you're in a rural area. Whereabouts is that? Oh, we got from here Windows, run from Windows PE. Click on that. And I think that's when we're going to lose. Restart now. So there we lose Greg. Let's see, so that's going to be going through a restore operation now. We saw that that was taking like 3.5 minutes, and then it'll reboot. So we should have him back less than 10 minutes. Harambe, so is he giving up with the Acronis restore? I don't know that I'd say giving up. I'm still interested to check and see how the Acronis restore operates because I don't have experience with that. We did back up with both Acronis and Macrium Reflect. We went with the Windows 20 H2, we neglected to do a backup with Acronis. So when Greg decided that he wanted to go with Windows 10 20 H2, the fresh build that we did of that, then that locked us into using Macrium Reflect because we did not have an Acronis version of that backup. Sango says North Carolina, about 40 minutes from the big cities. All right, let's see, North Carolina. Well, that's where, isn't that where Mike Smith is from? Isn't it North Carolina? Seems like somebody else in the tech YouTube environment is from that area. And Mike, how do we get in touch with you to discuss a possible computer problem? You can send an email to me at DougBetts at LiveWindowsTraining.com. I'll put that address into the chat. DougBetts at LiveWindowsTraining.com. That's the email address. You can send me an email with a little bit of information about what you want help with, and we can put it together. I think I saw somebody a while back in chat saying they were need help with this issue. Rapid Z. Rapid Z, were you saying that you need help with this issue also? Can you elaborate a little bit in the chat? And ATEC says Mike Smith is Pasadena? No, that's a city. Pennsylvania. Yeah, that's right. And now Florida. Yeah, and he's going to be spending part of the year in each of those locations, and he's keeping both homes. That's right. That's what I was thinking of. I was incorrect. Pennsylvania, not North Carolina. And yes, Mike, you're welcome. So let's see, they're showing, now this is rebooting, but it's not going to reconnect when it reboots. So it's pointless for me to keep that connection. It's not going to reboot because it's actually restoring a different operating system. And he doesn't have that log me in connection or icon on his the calling card. He doesn't have that on the desktop of the 20H2 that's being restored. Josty1 says, Acronis is faster and makes smaller images than Macrium Reflect. Yes, I did several tests on both. Oh, thank you for giving us that piece there. I was wondering, Josty1, I was intending to restore only the C partition from the full image backup. Can Acronis do that? I'd love to know if Acronis can do that. And let's see, so what we're expecting next is a phone call from Greg. And he says, yes, it can. So it can restore just the C partition. So can you elaborate a little bit further, Josty1, about how much faster, how much smaller images? Does that really matter? I do like to have a variety of tools available and use whatever tool I favor for the job at hand. So learning more about tools that I'm not using, I'm interested in. So let's see. Actually, can he come into Zoom? He should be able to come into Zoom. He's got a fresh 20H2. I think he knows now how to download Zoom if it's not already downloaded, so he might just pop up into the Zoom session. And if anybody else is interested in jumping into the Zoom session and just saying hello, so I'm not just sitting here trying to babble away, you're certainly welcome to. And then Sane Goat, good to know. I've only used Samsung Magician. Does Samsung Magician do image backups? Wait a minute, North Carolina. Isn't that where Kerry likes to go for his getaway time? Where he's goes to a rental house? He stayed in that rental house during the, what do they call it? That MSP Unplugged meetup. I think was in that area, and Kerry stayed at a rented house in North Carolina, and then he's going to go back there again. Kerry goes to Michigan. Yeah, of course. Now that you say that, that's right. Michigan is with Karen likes to go. William, I do not think so. I think updates the M.2 firmware for Samsung. That's what I thought. I thought Samsung Magician was for updates to any Samsung SSDs. I was only asking that from Sane Goat's comment. Good to know at Justy1. I've only used Samsung Magician. That seemed to be in response to Justy1's comments about a Cronus. Oh, there we go. Well, Atex, where is he from, Ari? I think you're referring to Kerry. He's Arizona. Phoenix, I think it is. That doesn't feel right for some reason. Justy1 says a Cronus, a medium compression, 188 on max compression. A Cronus 133 megabytes on medium compression, 184 megabytes on max compression. Atex Samsung has clone software with their drives. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Perhaps the Samsung Magician or a sister software maybe does cloning. I'm guessing it wouldn't be as full featured as a Cronus or Macrium Reflect. We were having some stream problems yesterday. Haven't seen anything happen today. The stream health report shows no problems through our whole session so far. Williams saying it's a limited version of a Cronus. Okay, yes, that makes sense. I remember that. The software that comes with Samsung is a slimmed down version of a Cronus. This queue event log is showing me that that last session closed at 12:28. So we've been 8 minutes. It's like watching grass grow. ATEX, I really like this format. Great idea. Very informative. Thank you. It's basically everything that I wanted to see, to actually doing real configuration type work or training actual topics. I thought many times, the work that I do with my actual real clients at business offices, that the things that I get involved in, I think they're really interesting and be useful to be able to share. So I tried, when I made my first stab at this, you can see it on my personal channel. It's called DougBetts. There's a few videos on there where I just kind of do a summary review of my day, of my time slips for the day, and just talk about the things that I did. And it just didn't ring so good with me, and I just was really attracted to this idea of actually doing work over Zoom and YouTube Live. And this is something I'm not sure I would have been able to get off the ground if it wasn't for COVID-19, because all of a sudden people became aware of what Zoom is and became less camera shy, I think. I still really don't have many requests for help. Let's see, Greg is what I think of as my third organic YouTube client. Organic YouTube client means he's somebody who came to me by finding my channel, by watching my videos. And I think he found my channel because of Carrie Holzman very kindly mentioning my channel on his channel. And I know several of you also found me by virtue of that. And one of the challenges that I knew that I was going to be facing is that, rightfully so, people are cautioned and warned against letting somebody connect remotely to your computer, because it's usually a scammer that's trying to do that. I'm not a scammer. And I think doing this through YouTube Live is kind of a way to establish that I'm not a scammer, because I think of it as being kind of peer reviewed. You guys are commonly a technically competent group, and if I was trying to do something not appropriate, you would catch me on that. So here's Greg. Hello, Greg.
Yes, I'm back at the desktop. I sent you a short email.
Oh, okay. Well, I haven't been watching email. I thought you might come in on Zoom, because I think you know how to...
If you want me to.
Yeah, sure. Come on in through Zoom.
Okay, Zoom is installed, I presume.
Well, I don't know that. Or we could do the...
Yeah, it's installed.
Okay, because I thought we had installed that on that 20H2.
Okay, join the meeting.
Yeah.
Select the drop down. Join.
Harambe, I'll get to that in a minute. There we go. You are back.
Okay, I'm gonna drop the phone.
Yep. Okay, now let's get I was gonna say let's get the remote connection to your computer, but
Yeah, I did a Windows. It's at H2 and everything. I sent you the build number and everything.
okay, yes, you're at H2. So are we done?
As far as I'm concerned, thank you very much for your time and help.
Well, we could have got to this point a lot quicker and easier if we weren't trying to find the real problem, right? And in the real computer support environment, that is the right way to go. We should have gone to this option a long time ago. We would have done a better job of getting to this point if we had done the Fabs auto backup and restore, but you're not too concerned about that because you have your data on your D drive and you're pretty technically competent compared to my normal business office clients. I mean, typically I'm dealing with people who don't understand folders.
Yeah, I copied my 2 shortcuts for my email and in my bank. I can get that back.
Yeah.
Install Firefox today and import my bookmarks.
And the way I'm set up these days, I utilize the Microsoft account and I utilize Google account and I use multiple computers. So anything I have on one computer, it's just instantly available on the other computers too. So if I lose one of my computers, it's just a no-brainer really. I perhaps have to reinstall software, but it's not a critical issue. So, wow, I think just kind of abruptly looks like we're done. I'm just checking on chat here, which you're not looking at right now. Yeah, so let me respond. Harambe, ever encountered those fake Windows tech support callers? I probably get a dozen calls on my phone a day, and I know that some of those are the fake tech support callers. Josty1 saying Samsung data migration software is their cloning utility. Magician allows firmware updates and drive performance stuff like over provisioning, trim, rapid mode, and diagnostics. Wintermute need to restore his data and programs, and Greg is fine with doing that. He doesn't need my assistance for that. Harambid, Ninite is a useful tool to install multiple programs all at once. I am aware of that. And I have not pursued doing that, and this goes back to my preference to have my hands in all the gears, and I don't use third-party utilities much at all. And particularly Ninite would be great if you're doing similar setups and installations over and over and over. All of mine are unique. Sango says to Justy1, I use the data migration tool, worked great for me. Justy1 says to Harambe, yes it is. And Atex agreed, Ninite is my go-to after a fresh install. Very good, awesome. All right, I think we're ready to call this a wrap. And I will say that it's been a pleasure spending time with you, Greg.
Okay, I was just looking through the apps and make sure no junk was put in there by Microsoft or Microsoft Store.
I'll tell you what, a fresh install from media like that, I see that as really, really clean. You probably do have some of those apps like, whatever that.
Groove Music. And
yeah.
I just uninstalled that.
You can just right click and uninstall on those if you care about that.
I'm not going to do too much tweaking.
Yeah.
I think that has a possibility of what was causing the problem.
All right. Yeah. That is a significant possibility. So for all of you that are in chat, if you come across people that are asking questions in chat rooms where the host of that particular channel is not really able to get involved and do things, I'd love for you to refer those type of people to me. If you send them to my channel or give them my email address, it'd probably be best for them to go see my videos first to have an idea of what I do. My channel has a custom URL now, so you can, in the address bar of a browser, you can type youtube.com/LWTDB. So it's an acronym for my channel, Live Windows Training, LWT. The name of the channel is -DougBetts, so you add the DB. So LWT DB. And that'll get you straight to my channel from any web browser.
I just put your name in the search bar and it took me right to your channel.
Well, one catch there is it might take you to my personal channel because my personal channel is DougBetts. So there's some old stuff there, and it has this. It actually has the banner of Live Windows Training-DougBetts, so it can be kind of misleading. And many people, when they
I saw our videos that you posted up there.
yeah, well, you got to the right channel then. And I think YouTube is mostly going to offer up that channel. I don't think YouTube's going to offer my personal channel first because it's just not active. Oh, Candy Crush. Yeah, that's the one. Do we really
Candy
care
Crush
whether...
wasn't there.
Huh? Candy Crush is not
wasn't
there.
No.
Yeah.
I've heard Terry talk about that and some other.
Yeah, I don't understand. Does it really matter? Does it? I mean, it can't possibly do anything to performance if it's just sitting there unused. And I do have Candy Crush on my streaming computer. I've never looked at it.
I haven't either. I just uninstalled it.
I just really don't care that it's there. All right.
I'm just very happy and pleased that we got back to the desktop and I can surf and watch your videos and carries, do my shopping and banking and email.
All right. Very good. Then we'll call it a wrap. Thank you all for being with us, and I hope to see you in another session with somebody else. Or I'll be also doing some tutorial type videos.
I'll be watching.
Until I get
Thank
people
you again.
contacting me. All right. Thank you, everybody. That's a wrap. Goodbye. Catch you later.
Good one.